You have to fight to reach your dream. You have to sacrifice and work hard for it. Lionel Messi. There's a dangerous delusion we often fall prey to, especially after we've been through the crucible of trauma or experienced the crushing weight of loss or found ourselves adrift after major life setbacks. It's the belief that our dreams, our desires for a better life, for profound healing, for extraordinary achievement should somehow be granted to us. We've been conditioned by a culture of instant gratification to believe that success is a quick win, an overnight sensation, a lucky break. We see the final moments of victory, the trophies hoisted high, and mistakenly assume that the path to that moment was one of effortless grace. This myth of the easy road is a subtle, insidious poison because it paralyzes us with a sense of entitlement and then with a profound sense of injustice when the universe doesn't simply hand us what we want. But what if the profound, liberating truth, as Lionel Messi so simply and powerfully articulated, is the exact opposite? What if your dream isn't a destination you arrive at, but a prize you must earn? What if the real measure of your commitment isn't found in your hopes, but in the ferocity of your fight, the depth of your sacrifice, and the unyielding intensity of your work hard for it? This isn't just a philosophy for athletes, it's a profound, soul-awakening truth for anyone who has ever felt too broken, too scared, or too inadequate to begin. It's the understanding that your dream is not something you are owed, it is something you must relentlessly, courageously, and with unshakable resolve earn. This demands a radical shift in mindset, moving from passive hoping to active earning, from gentle wishes to a fierce, unrelenting effort, knowing that your greatest victories are often built on the very ground where you chose to fight for them. For too long, we've allowed the narrative of our wounds, the sting of our setbacks, and the weight of our past to become a justification for inaction. We tell ourselves, I can't possibly fight for my dream, I'm too damaged, or I've already sacrificed enough, or I'm not willing to work that hard. These aren't genuine truths. They are carefully constructed excuses designed to protect us from the vulnerability of putting in the work and the discomfort of making sacrifices. But every moment you spend in this state of suspended animation, you deny yourself the very experiences that would build your confidence, hone your skills, and ultimately lead you towards your desired future. This is about cultivating an unshakable belief, not in a magic solution, but in your own inherent untapped capacity for resilience and transformation. It's the kind of belief that understands that true power lies in the internal choice to fight for what you want, even when every external signal tells you to retreat. The story of Lionel Messi isn't just about his trophies and his unparalleled talent. It's about the decades of unseen, relentless effort and sacrifice that preceded them. As a child, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, a condition that threatened to end his career before it even began. A lesser person might have taken that as a definitive sign to quit, to accept that his dream was physically impossible. But for Messi, it was a profound crucible for his legendary discipline and his willingness to fight. He had to endure painful daily hormone injections, a profound financial and emotional sacrifice for his family, and leave his home country of Argentina at a young age to pursue his dream at Barcelona's academy. He didn't ask for special treatment. He simply chose to sacrifice and work hard for it every single day. He proved that true genius isn't an innate gift you are born with, but the relentless, unexcused pursuit of a higher calling, a fierce refusal to accept anything less than his absolute best. He chose to fight every single day, every single practice, every single game, proving that the only real obstacle is the one you allow yourself to believe in, the one born from a lack of effort and sacrifice. The modern world, with its endless distractions and its subtle encouragement of instant gratification, often allows us to create a smokescreen of busyness and complexity, masking our underlying resistance to genuine effort. This lack of focused effort blurs our clarity, obscures our true vision, and disconnects us from our deepest purpose. When we allow the fear of sacrifice and hard work to paralyze us, our intentions become fragmented, our decisions indecisive, and our actions inconsistent. To truly embrace Messi's philosophy of fighting for your dream, you must cultivate a ruthless clarity about what you want and why you want it, stripping away every non-essential, every justification for delay. Your vision must be so vivid, your purpose so compelling, that the sheer force of it incinerates the temptation to take the easy road. Think of the immense pressure Messi faced throughout his career, particularly during the years with the Argentinian national team, where despite his club success, a major international trophy eluded him. He was relentlessly criticized by media and fans, facing immense psychological burdens. A lesser person might have retired from international play, retreating from the pain of defeat. But Messi's fierce purpose to bring a major trophy home to Argentina was so absolute, his vision so clear, that he pushed himself to the absolute limit. He kept coming back again and again, enduring the sacrifices and the hard work of international play, fueled by a ferocious discipline to show up for his country. His action in those moments was a masterclass in resilience, a defiant refusal to let the narrative of a loss become the story of his career. He proved that a true champion isn't defined by the number on the trophy, but by the fire that ignites after defeat, by the unyielding commitment to keep fighting for a dream no matter how long it takes. This is where transformative action truly begins. Not when you feel perfect or ready, but when you simply choose to begin armed with unwavering intent. The powerful truth is that every day you postpone, every moment you hesitate because of a perceived limitation, is a day you deny yourself the opportunity to prove your own resilience. The ultimate act of self-love, especially after hardship, is the defiant refusal to let your past dictate your future. It's the conscious choice to show up for yourself, to put in the uncomfortable, consistent effort, and to make the necessary sacrifices, knowing that every step, however small, is a step towards liberation. This relentless fight for it approach allows you to channel your energy with surgical precision, eliminating the noise and focusing on the essential, propelling you forward with an almost unstoppable force, turning potential into tangible, measurable progress. The siren song of comfort often leads us to avoid the very discomfort necessary for growth and healing. We seek the path of least resistance, convincing ourselves that ease will lead to success, when in reality it often leads to stagnation and a perpetuation of old patterns. But to truly embody Messi's philosophy, you must embrace the uncomfortable, a fearless confrontation with the very things you've been excusing yourself from. This kind of courageous engagement fosters unshakable resilience. Resilience isn't a passive trait. It's an active process forged in the crucible of discomfort, hardened by the consistent decision to lean into challenges rather than retreat from them. It's the muscle that develops when you consistently choose courage over comfort, effort over ease. Consider the immense strength required to come back from profound disappointment, as Messi did after his international failures, the Copa America final losses, the World Cup final loss in 2014. These were crushing public defeats that could have broken his spirit. A lesser person might have retired, or at the very least retreated from the public eye, but Messi's internal mindset was one of pure effort and commitment. He had a deep primal gratitude for the opportunity to play, to represent his country, to keep fighting for a dream that was bigger than himself. This gratitude was not for the failures themselves, but for the raw capacity to endure, to learn from every mistake, to get up every single morning and choose to sacrifice and work hard for it again. He didn't dwell in self-pity. He embraced the uncomfortable reality of his new path, And in that process, he developed an unparalleled mental toughness and a renewed hunger that ultimately led him to win the Copa America in 2021 and most famously the FIFA World Cup in 2022. He proved that even a lifetime of near misses, even a history of failures, can be a profound part of a greater journey, a necessary crucible for forging the strength required to reach the ultimate prize. This fight for it philosophy fundamentally shifts your relationship with difficulty. You stop seeing obstacles as reasons to stop and start seeing them as opportunities to discover untapped strength as crucial steps in the journey of transformation. Your willingness to lean into the discomfort, to push past the fear of failure, is what ultimately differentiates those who simply hope from those who truly thrive, who emerge from the ashes stronger, wiser, and more powerfully aligned with their purpose. The insidious nature of the fear of sacrifice is that it creates a comfortable cage, limiting our adaptability and preventing us from evolving. We become rigid, resistant to change because change often demands stepping into the unknown, a place where effort is not only possible but likely. But to truly embody Messi's philosophy is to embrace relentless adaptability. It's about cultivating an internal compass so strong, a sense of purpose so unshakable that you can navigate any terrain, adjust to any shift, and innovate beyond any obstacle, transforming challenges into opportunities. Your willingness to shed old fears and embrace new risks, unburdened by the paralysis of what if it's too hard, becomes your greatest competitive advantage. This fierce commitment to growth fuels a relentless drive for learning. Every setback isn't a defeat. It's a lesson, a puzzle to be solved, a new skill to acquire. Every moment of discomfort becomes a classroom, pushing you to expand your knowledge, refine your strategies, and deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Think of the evolution of Messi's game over his career. He didn't simply rely on his natural talent. He became a more complete player, a more effective leader, a master of a different kind of effort as he aged and his body changed. He adapted his game, learning new ways to contribute, new ways to impact the field, new ways to lead his team. He embodied the fierce commitment to learning and adaptability, constantly refining his approach, driven by an unyielding purpose to be the best. His fight for it philosophy manifested not just in his spectacular goals, but in his unselfish assists, his tireless work off the ball, his dedication to the team. He was willing to sacrifice personal glory for collective success, understanding that the ultimate dream required a different kind of effort, a different kind of work hard for it. This unyielding dedication, this profound immersion in his craft cultivates a wisdom that can only come from direct, intense, and sustained engagement with your chosen domain. When you truly internalize the fight for it philosophy, you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating them, one arduous, intentional step at a time. Your actions become infused with a purposeful intensity, a quiet power born from the understanding that progress is always earned, never given. It's the fearless acceptance that the most profound triumphs often arise from the most unlikely starting points, when fueled by an uncompromising will to simply put in the effort and make the sacrifices required. So, if you've felt the crushing weight of past trauma, if loss has left you feeling hollow, or if major setbacks have convinced you that your moment has passed, hear this truth, etched into the very fabric of Lionel Messi's unparalleled legacy. Your dream is not a gift. It is a prize to be earned, a battle to be fought, a masterpiece to be built with your own hands, with your own sacrifices, with your own hard work. Your past does not own your future. Your current circumstances are not your permanent address. The only thing standing between you and the life you yearn to live is the courage to begin, the willingness to fight, even when the outcome is uncertain. Embrace the fierce mindset that declares, my dream is my responsibility and I will earn it. Cultivate an unshakable belief in your inherent capacity to heal, to rebuild, to rise, knowing that your internal power is boundless. Seek clarity not in waiting for a guaranteed outcome, but in the deliberate, courageous act of stepping forward into the unknown, allowing your path to illuminate itself with each committed step, driven by an unyielding vision of your highest self. Let your profound purpose be the blazing sun that melts away all doubts and illuminates every path forward, consuming any shadows of regret or hesitation. Embrace discipline as your greatest ally, the consistent, unapologetic choice to show up for yourself, to do the uncomfortable work, to take the necessary action day after relentless day. Cultivate gratitude for the raw strength you discover within yourself, for the wisdom gained through hardship, for the scars that tell your story of survival and triumph, and for the sheer privilege of being an active participant in your own magnificent comeback. Build adaptability by training your mind to embrace change, to pivot with purpose, and to innovate under pressure, making fluidity your ultimate strength. And commit to lifelong learning, recognizing that every obstacle, every moment of discomfort is a classroom designed to make you stronger, wiser, and more capable, constantly expanding your boundaries and pushing the limits of what you thought possible. The world doesn't need your hesitation. It needs your heroic action. It needs your effort. It needs the extraordinary person you are capable of becoming. Your greatest triumphs, your deepest healing, your most profound fulfillment await you on the other side of that courageous decision to fight, to sacrifice, and to work hard for it. It's time to stop wishing and start earning. The journey begins now.